Hey everyone, I'm Chaz and this is Khan. Say hi, Khan. I would crouch down onto Khan's level, but honestly, I don't know if I'd be able to get back up. I just finished the Blue Ridge Relay with 5 other gentlemen yesterday, and my legs are shot. So let's get into the recap video. Here's the shirt, by the way. If you're not familiar with the Blue Ridge Relay, it is a 200 plus mile relay that's usually run in teams of 6 to 12 runners, sometimes as few as 4. There have been solo people who have done it, usually closer to 10 or 12, but anything 6 members or fewer is considered an ultra team, and if you're all above 40 like we were, then you are an ultra masters team, which is its own division. At Blue Ridge Relay this year there were a total of 184 teams with staggered starts on Friday, starting way early in the morning into the middle of the day on Friday. Here's the Airbnb that we stayed in Grayson Highlands the night before the race. Here's our van. Our team name is Goats, Gazelles, and 3 Englishmen. Here's all the gear bins, shoe racks. Those are mine right there. Name of the team van, HMS Bodie McBoatface. So instead of team shirts, we've got team hats, Goats, Gazelles, and 3 Englishmen. I'm not one of the Englishmen. And our team's staggered start relay time is at 10 a.m. 3, 2, 1. Go, Peck! Go, Duncan! Go, Kev! Go, K-Mac! Come on, Norm! All right, so I've got about 4 or 5 minutes before my first leg. Just did like a 3-minute warm-up jog. It's going to be a hilly leg, about 1,100 feet of climb and 7.7 miles. And it's getting pretty warm out. So we'll see how today goes. First leg of 6. Go, Norm. Gotta go easy to start. A lot of climb. First roadkill. I've made it over the top of the first big climb. I've got a long, steady downhill, but then another big climb at the end of this stage. Pavement is ending. Got a couple miles of gravel road here, and doing pretty well for pace. Feeling pretty controlled. Stop, runner. Good job, runner. Good job. Easy, boy. Good job, runner. Good job, runner. Dog. Horses. Some of these houses, though. Nice place to live, right? Good job, runner.
You're doing great. That's number 4. Headed over the top of the second monster climb. I'm on a steep descent now, trying to control it. I've got one more little bump and then a descent into the finish. About 2 miles left, about 14 minutes of running. Should be smooth sailing, mostly downhill to the end of my first leg now. I see an orange shirt in the distance. Might be able to rack up my 7th roadkill if I'm lucky, but I'm not gonna push it. Here's the Christmas tree farm everyone talks about. Looks like I'm gonna get number 7 up here. Thank you. Go Justin. Just started my second leg. Someone needs to update the kill count.
Strong.
You too, man.
You're kicking ass, dude.
Yeah.
Nice work. This is your second run?
Yes, sir.
Fucking A. Yeah. That's strong, dude. I'm not going that slow. Put my ass down. Nice work.
Last descent. I've got about 1,200 meters to the finish of my second leg. Should come in a little bit ahead of schedule.
There you go. Great job.
All right, thank you.
Good job. Good job.
Ooh,
Awesome.
thank you. Thank you.
That's a good idea. Put that on your wrist now. Yes.
The reason Justin didn't take off right when I handed off the baton was after leg 12, there is a 10-minute break where the team gets in the van and drives to the next exchange zone so that the relay doesn't run across a busy highway. It's kind of a shuttle stop. So every team gets a time card and they start 10 minutes after where I, the 12th leg finisher, came in. So this is the exchange zone before the Grandfather Mountain leg, which is one of the longest legs, and you're climbing up Grandfather Mountain most of the time. I'm not doing that one, Kevin's doing that one. But my next couple of legs will be through the middle of the night in the dark, so I won't have any camera footage of that. And then my last few legs will be tomorrow in the daylight. Maybe I'll get some footage of those. No telling how I'll look or how I'll feel at that moment. But I'm 2 legs down out of 6. We are, I want to say 15, almost 15 legs down out of 36. Okay, so future Chaz here. In this interlude, I'm just going to tell you about my 3rd, 4th, and 5th legs, which were through the night, so I didn't get any camera footage. My 3rd leg, which was 4.9 miles, the first 2 miles were relatively flat, and it was just starting to cool off because it was into the evening. Well, it was dark. It was at night. And I was able to get some nice fast sub 7 miles in the 640s, 650s there. There was a huge climb that was, 1.5 miles to 2 miles in length. It had some pretty steep pitches near the end, and I think I just managed my effort just right on that climb. And a bit of a descent, not nearly as much as the climb, but I was really able to start turning over again and get my legs moving and finish strong. And I was really in a flow state during that leg. I couldn't be more happy with how I ran that. Still felt good. My 4th leg, leg 24, was mostly along a state highway, pretty straight, pretty fast. Gradual incline for the first half, gradual decline for the second half. And it was just fast running. Not exactly like a time trial, but I was focused on eating into some of our time and putting in a good leg, taking a fast one while I could. Only about 300 feet of gain for that one, maybe 350, over 5.8 miles of running. And then leg 30, which was my 5th leg, was a short leg. It was 4.3 miles, but it had a pretty challenging 2 kilometers of climb to start off, which just got steeper near the top. And then I had about an equal amount of downhill, and the downhill was fast, but I actually think I ran faster on the back 2 miles of the course, which was a false flat, steady, uphill, upstream really, because it was next to a river, where I was just running in the 640s and feeling really good, bringing it into that 30th aid station where there were pancakes waiting. And I was going to hand the baton off to Justin, who was running the first mountain goat leg, leg 31, which has the greatest elevation gain of all of the legs. Okay, we're here at exchange zone 33 right now, and Duncan is out on the second mountain goat leg, which is rough. It has the steepest climb and steepest descent of the whole relay. It's not that long a leg, but it's got a lot of work in it. Then there's a couple legs before me. Kevin has to do his last leg. Norman has to do his last leg, which is a tough one. And then I have the glory leg, leg 36, the anchor leg, which brings us from the edge of Asheville down to Highland Brewing, where the relay ends. And it's going to be a tough leg, 6.6 miles with over 600 feet of elevation gain. So not all that different from some of the training runs I've been doing, but all of the elevation compressed into less of a distance. 250-foot climb in the first mile, actually not even all of the first mile, and then a couple of decent climbs toward the end. So I'm just going to try and empty the tank on that one. Right now we're ahead of schedule to beat the Ultra Masters record, but there's a few legs before me, and some of those legs could hemorrhage time. So we'll see what happens. I'll tell you this, after 5 of 6 legs, my legs are pretty shot. Hamstrings are pretty blown, but I can still run on them. Quads aren't too bad, but I'm gonna feel them tomorrow. Calves feel pretty good actually. So, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt for 6.6 miles, but it's what I got, and it's the last one.
Way to go, Kevo! Great run. Go, Norman! Get her done. Second to last leg taken off. Now I'm next and last. So far, I've worn the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3 for 2 of my legs. I've worn the Brooks Hyperion Elite 4 PB for 1 leg. And I've worn these Asics Mega Blast for 2 legs, and I will wear them for a 3rd leg on this last leg. They have been saving my legs, and I've been still able to run pretty fast in them. This is the time of day I need to arrive before if we want to secure the Masters record, and I'm sure I'm going to beat that. Good job, Norm. Last leg.
So at this point, you may not be able to tell on camera, but I've been going uphill for a couple of blocks. And then when we shoot off onto this street, it just shoots way straight uphill to an even steeper grade. And I was really hurting here. This is all still just in the first mile of the last leg.
Good job, bud. Reached the top of the big hill. Downhill for a while. God, this hurts. Slow. Sure could deal with more of this shade. The downhill after that uphill is so relentless, and my legs are killing me. And I'm cramping. Nothing to do for that except run through it. About 2.5 miles left. Struggling, but keeping close to target pace. Oh boy. Good job, runner. Go get it. Third kill of this leg. 31st of the relay for me so far.
So I tried very hard to catch the very finish of my last leg into the finish line. I got a few seconds of it, but I was chasing my final roadkill number 32, and just overtook him within feet of the finish line, and it was an all-out sprint, so I couldn't really work the camera right.
We were ready to run it. We were ready to run it in with you, but we figured it was rude in front of that guy.
Yeah. Bullshit.
We wouldn't have kept up anyway.
So Blue Ridge Relay done. 36 legs, 6 legs per team member, 205 miles. Total time 25 hours, 24 minutes, and 39 seconds, which beat the old Masters Ultra record by 4 minutes. A record which was set by this same team, just a slightly different configuration. Actually, I wasn't on that team. For myself, I did 6 legs. I did 34.6 miles. Time on foot, according to my watch, was 4 hours, 5 minutes, and 22 seconds. I think that works out to about a 7:06 average pace spread over those split up 34.6 miles. About 3,500 feet of elevation gain, which is, I mean, what is that, about 1,100 meters for all my metric friends. Quite a lot of climbing, so much more climbing than I would do in the regular Lake Norman area of North Carolina. But that's what Blue Ridge Relay is all about, is running hills and mountains through the night in western North Carolina. I guess a little bit of Virginia too. Okay, we'll end this little recap with a shoe talk. Khan is back here with me. He and I are both running some errands. As I said before, I brought 3 pairs of shoes to the Blue Ridge Relay this year. I brought the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3, and I brought the Brooks Hyperion Elite 4 PB. I don't have either of those in my hands right now because my dumb ass left them in the back of the van when they dropped me off at my car in Winston-Salem, because we all came from different parts of the state. So those are going to be shipped back to me by our captain. But I did remember to pack the Asics Mega Blast, which was really kind of the MVP shoe-wise of the Blue Ridge Relay for me this year. I could have done all 6 legs in this shoe. The Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3 I used as my climbing shoe. That's the shoe I used during the Flying Squirrel 10-miler, which was in Asheville. That was a big climb, big descent kind of race, and I could really run fast up hills and bomb down the hills in that shoe. And it's a good tough shoe for mixed surfaces. There were some unpaved surfaces on the routes at the relay this weekend. The Hyperion Elite 4 PB I used for one route, which started off with some significant downhill and then had some flat, well, about as flat as you're gonna get on the Blue Ridge Relay sections where I could just, maintain some fast pace. It's a good all-rounder shoe, and it has a soft enough heel that it was good for the downhills, and I could still feel fast on that one leg that I used it on. But this shoe, for some of the hills, especially if there were downhills I wanted to protect my legs, it had great response. I did not feel like it needed a carbon plate. It could last for miles and miles and miles. And a couple of my fastest legs I actually ran with this shoe. So when I did my Mega Blast review. I said this could be a one shoe rotation, and this weekend was kind of putting that into practice. It could be a racing shoe, it could be a super trainer, it could be a long run shoe, it could do pretty much anything, and I'm very satisfied with this. I definitely got it nice and dirty. That's the only bad thing about the white colorway, but I also appreciate a good patina of use on a bright colored shoe. It lets me know that it's seen some love. I really enjoyed the Blue Ridge Relay this past weekend. It was good to get the Ultra Masters record. We did secure the Ultra Masters record by 4 minutes, and we're pretty stoked about that. I liked having the honor of running in the anchor leg and being the person to cross the finish line. I am probably going to do the Blue Ridge Relay next year with another team. I wish this guy could come along, but that's a bit of a ways for him. I don't know if it'll be the same team of guys. They're a top class group of guys, but I was only on that team as a replacement for another runner who could not run. I might get another team together. There's already some local folks talking about getting a more fun, maybe less competitive team together, and that could be fun too, but I'm still going to run hard. Thanks for watching the recap and listening to me geek out about shoes a little bit more. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ding the bell for notifications. We'll see you on the next run. A lot of races coming up this month, so lots of recaps.